So that covers all of our top 10s for the week. We are now going to move into a segment I am doing and trying out this week. It's a new segment called the Hot Seat. This is essentially either teams, coaches, players, whatever that, hey, we're looking at you because we had expectations. We expect you to be here and you're not even on the chart anymore. I mean, you're well underperforming. And here are some guys that I think, or teams, whatever, that are on the hot seat. This is some good topics here. So let's start with the New York Giants. Obviously, it's Daboll. I think that Brian Daboll's got to be on the hot seat at this point. I don't care for the coaching method at all. I really don't. When I look at what they do, I thought that Jameis should have been started over Russell Wilson. They started Russell. Russell was incredibly boring. They bring in Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart doesn't quite look ready yet. I know he won that first game, but sometimes that happens. You come out your first game, there's a spark, on the team. Jameis should be starting right now. Jackson should be getting these reps. It's not good there. Scatterbo is a great running back. He's going to be awesome. I love the fight. I just don't like how they're coached. I really don't. I thought the defense would be better. I really did. And at this point, I have to wonder, I don't know what Brian Daboll does that makes them better. And I know that's a harsh criticism, but this team now has been bad for a number of years. What have you done for me lately? I almost want to pull this up just really quick, and I apologize to do this mid. But when it comes to Brian Daboll, if we look at his seasons as a head coach, this is his fourth year, okay? 9-7, 6-11, 3-14, and now they're 1-4. What exactly is New York waiting on? I mean, he comes out, has a winning season. Then it gets a little worse. Then it gets a lot worse. Now it's still getting worse. At what point do you kind of have this realization where you're like, maybe it's just not working? You know what I mean? I don't get it. I really don't. New York is just such a bad team to watch play. I won't be betting on them going forward. I really thought they were going to be better than people thought. I kind of had them as a dark horse, one of those teams that could double their wins. No, I'm done. I've seen enough. Next up, Geno Smith. I've always kind of been a Geno supporter. He's always been one of those middle quarterbacks. When he played in Seattle, he was kind of a mid-ranked, 15th best kind of guy. Had a lot of yards, had some good touchdowns, occasional interception, but for the most part played pretty solid and played pretty tough. This year, I don't know what's going on. He's seeing ghost. The interceptions are ridiculous. I mean, the turnovers are ridiculous. Football looks so hard for the Raiders in general. And this is Pete Carroll's first year, so I'm not going to put that on him. I'm not going to pin that on him. But when it comes to Geno, right now, Geno's just not leading that team. And so he's on the hot seat for sure. I mean, I think you got to make a switch. What that switch is, I don't know. I'd pick up the phone and call the Giants and see if Jameis is available. I mean, we just talked about that. He'd create a spark. He can throw the ball downfield. Maybe create something. I don't know. Next up on the hot seat, the entire Miami Dolphins football team. Really disappointing loss against the Carolina Panthers. They were ahead the whole game. I actually had the Panthers plus the points, but I was nervous. It was like 17-0 or something at the first quarter, second quarter, something. And again, Carolina comes back, and Mike McDaniels looks, I mean, you can just see it on his face. You can see it on his frustration. Something needs to be changed. It just does. And I think it's just one of those scrap things. I think you need to scrap everybody. I think Tua probably needs to move on. It's a harsh truth. I'm not trying to just be harsh on everybody, but over the years, I've slowly been picking out these issues with the Dolphins. I mean, I've been like, I'm not big on the quarterback. They paid him. And then I'm like, well, I'm not big on this, and then they extended him. And I'm not big on the coach, and he keeps coaching. And now we're kind of at a point where I'm like, this isn't a playoff team. It just isn't. And so something's got to change here. I don't know what it is, but it might just need a rehaul. And that might be the only way. If you're a Dolphins fan, I'd love to know what you think, but I don't have an exact answer of how to fix the problems. I just know that there's a lot of them. Next up, John Harbaugh. Now, this one might come as a surprise. I also have his staff as well. The Ravens have missed their opportunity window, possibly. Lamar has had these MVP type seasons time and time again. They have Derrick Henry on the team. They have one of the best running backs. They have one of the best quarterbacks. They're supposed to have a really good defense, and this team is a dumpster fire. I mean, it's a complete dumpster fire. The defense is one of the historically worst defenses that's ever played, and that's just what I've heard or seen. I don't know what to do here. And the offense doesn't make sense to me. How do you not control the running game? How do you not feed Derrick Henry the rock? How can you not? The whole team is suffering, and I think the coordinators are an issue. But eventually, the coordinators, if you have two coordinators that are a problem, that has to link back to the head coach. It just does. And I like Harbaugh. He's been there for a long time. I mean, a long time. Is he just kind of coasting? I don't know. I mean, Harbaugh I consider to be a possible Hall of Fame coach, and the Ravens are just a tire fire. I don't know what to make of them. I mean, their defense is terrible. Their offense can't move the ball. I actually took them on Sunday because I thought the backup was going to come in and be a little more efficient, hand the ball off to Derrick. No, same old try and true methods, and another blowout, another absolute blowout to a team that, I'm sorry, the Texans aren't good. They're getting blown out by teams that aren't good. That's a problem. Next up, the Eagles offensive coordinator. The Eagles come up with some of the weirdest games I've seen where they play a half and then they don't play a half. They had -1 passing yards and a half, and they had -17 passing yards and a half. Their offensive coordinator seems like, and I'm not trying to be super mean here, but this is just kind of the vibe I get. It almost seems like that guy who plays Madden, and you get to the end of a game and you're like, okay, well, what did we do wrong? Okay, oh, I didn't run the ball enough. Dang it. So the next time he comes out and he just runs the ball 100 times because he's like, well, I want to make sure that I don't, last time I didn't run the ball, this time I want to run the ball. So he runs them 30 to 40 times, and it's like, okay, balance. And it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of balance there, and it's hard to watch. So I think that the days could be numbered. We'll see. Next up, we have the Cardinals head coach. The body language isn't good. The frustration's real. The comeback by the Titans was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. If you're a head coach, I would be disgusted. Just because of how it happened, the interception that's caught, then dropped and just touchdown. It would make me sick to my stomach. I'd still be thinking about it. It'd be weeks before I got rid of that wound. It's that bad. But again, you're in a tough division. You're playing against some of the best head coaches in the history of football: Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay. How long before you pivot? I'm just curious. You know what I mean? Maybe this is too soon. I don't know. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, is this what you wanted to see out of your $50 million a year quarterback? I don't know. There's some issues there for sure. The seat might not be hot, but it's really warm. It's like, whoa, are these seat you know what I mean? Next up, Arch Manning. Look, Arch didn't have a terrible game last game. It's not like he played awful, but at this point, the expectations were really high. Arch feels like a quarterback that might benefit from not playing the top class. He might benefit from being in a, still Division I team, of course, but not the SEC, or the Big Ten or anything like that. I think he would benefit from being maybe more of a middle class team, maybe get some and then come back next year. Right now, it just doesn't feel like Texas or Georgia or any of those big Ohio State, any of those big name teams. It seems like a lot of them would pass on Arch at this moment. I think a lot of them, if he was like, hey, I want to transfer tomorrow, they'd be like, we're good. Like, we think we can find someone better. I don't know. I'm not impressed. I haven't seen enough, and time's running out shortly. That loss to Florida was huge. It was a real gut punch. I think Texas is out of it this year. Last but not least, Penn State's something, a head coach, team. I don't know. Look, I'm overreacting here, but this is just such an embarrassing loss. I mean, I had Penn State possibly going all the way. I mean, getting down to the Final Four, and to lose against UCLA, who had not won a game and who I don't even think I think some guys on the team didn't even know they were playing football. And I'm jesting. I'm just teasing. But I mean, this team was awful. And Penn State gave up 280 yards rushing. How do you give up 280 yards of rushing? You're supposed to be a top 5 team, and you're playing UCLA. You're not playing Georgia or Alabama. Something's going on there. I don't know what it is, but the seat's hot. All right. That is the hot seat segment. Now we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about some recaps of some NFL games. Guys, I hope you like this. Thank you so much for watching. This is just a little snippet of a full episode that's available on the YouTube channel as well, so be sure to check that out, and thank you so much for watching. We also have top 10s in quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, college teams, football teams, all kinds of good stuff. Check out the channel, and remember to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.